Honorable members of the media present this morning, it's an honor for us to have you here on this auspicious day in the history of our country, especially in the tasks and the responsibility that we are mandated to deal with. I want firstly to recognize the Honorable Minister of Finance, Malusi Gigaba, and the Honorable Deputy Minister of Finance, Fiso Buthelezi, my two chief officers for both IT and enforcement, senior SARS officials, the officials running this organization. Distinguished guests, mine is a very short one, but certainly I need to contextualize the importance of this particular day in the history and the calendar of the organization. It gives me a great pleasure to welcome you all. Please accept my deep appreciation to the Minister of Finance, Deputy Minister of Finance, and the team for making time to join us on this important occasion, so early in the morning, cold winter day. To launch the opening of the tax season, it is a momentous event that has never taken place in the 20-year history of SARS to come and launch in Soweto. This is indeed a historical and significant occasion, and the choice of Soweto coincides, of course, with the historical imperatives of what happened in this particular township of Soweto, and also towards the tail end of the Youth Month. It is the turning point towards economic inclusivity, renewal and transformation in how we do things. I'm glad that each and every one of you, especially members of the media, have traveled all the way to join the Minister, the Deputy Minister, and the high-level delegation of the National Treasury that is present here to witness and experience this event, and I'm sincerely moved. We wish to thank the Orlando East Branch Manager, Mr. Sekon Mohlala, and his entire team for hosting us. This is no place like Soweto. There's no place like Soweto. It holds a special historical significance in changing the course of history. It holds a special meaning to the dreams and the vision of transformation and economic inclusivity of our country. This is the most relevant place appropriate for our new Minister of Finance to do this. It has never happened in the history of SARS. Yes, history begins somewhere. We've been here before to launch our two second branches, but not to launch the tax season. The annual tax season symbolizes the most important covenant between a public institution and the South African government and its people. This tax season mobilizes and galvanizes a growing body of millions of economically active South Africans in the country to do the right thing, to pay their fair share of taxes. It is also an important measure of the levels of compliance amongst ordinary citizens with the laws of the country. It tells us what the people are passionate. It tells us whether the people are passionate and committed to their country or not. Thus, every family, home and office, especially those that are privileged to work in this bleak economic with high unemployment, will see South African workers complete, file, submit their tax returns for the next 6 months, which ends in November of this year. I believe we have learned from the people of Soweto that the highest form of patriotism is to be self-sacrificing and selfless in the service of their people without expecting much in return. Dear colleagues, members of the media, my colleagues working here in this particular branch, this is what we call the tax season. It's all about selfless service to the people of this country and their entire population. For more than 14,000 men and women at SARS, the tax season is about living the principles, values and ideals where we give excellent service to the taxpayer. For the next 6 months, we pledge to provide you, the taxpayers, in your millions, with the best service to make it easier for them to meet their tax obligations and responsibilities. But quickly, Honorable Minister and Deputy Minister, it is important for the media gathered here to be able to have a sense of appreciation as to what we're dealing with. We only have to look at the numbers of the people that came through forward to be compliant last year. SARS received 6.31 million returns by the close of last year's tax season on the 31st of January 2017. These comprise of the following: 4.53 million submissions by individuals for the 2015, 2016 tax year, 141,000 submissions by trusts for the same year, 1.6 million returns for previous year's returns from individuals and trust. The key statistics for the tax seasons were: SARS contract centers handled more than 3.6 million calls. SARS branch officials assisted more than 5.1 million taxpayers. SARS processed 99.99% of all returns electronically. 92.4% of tax returns were assessed within 3 seconds. We are the envy of most of the tax administrations internationally and in the continent. 93.28% of tax returns were paid to taxpayers within 72 hours. 173,000 taxpayers made use of uHelp e-file channel, which is 15% higher than the last financial year. 44,373 made use of SARS mobile application to submit their tax returns. I want, therefore, to let every citizen and taxpayer of this country to know that 94.2% of the tax returns were assessed within 3 seconds. Most importantly, let the people of this country and our compatriots know that 93.28% of the refunds were paid to the taxpayers within 72 hours. We want to confirm we are serious and committed to give excellent service. Our motto and mantra is, we are at your service. We are serious about paying back the money where it is due. The officials of the Orlando branch are just but a microcosm of what happens throughout the 53 branches of our country. They are self-sacrificing, selfless, committed and excellent service providers. Minister and Deputy Minister, honorable colleagues and members of the media, let us give you fresh from the information that we have. In the last 48 hours, since the tax season started on the 1st of July 2017, SARS has officially opened thousands of South Africans. If my statistics are correct and the information that I have, which I believe, more than 50,000 people have already filed since the first electronically. And that side of the South African Revenue Services calls for everybody to complete and submit their income returns started on Saturday. Over the past few years, SARS has tried to make process even easier for those waiting to comply and pay their fair share. The user-friendly e-filing system, mobile tax units which visit remote areas, helpful services such as Help Yourself, Help You e-file, and the contact center callback facility have all contributed to making this tax season much easier. I want to conclude, Honorable Minister, in order for you to give us guidance. It appears to me to be inconceivable that anyone would expect us at SARS to not to pursue those who fail to pay their right amount of tax. We know that lip service is. We do not want to be seen to be doing what will raise questions about the integrity of the impartiality of our systems. Without an efficient and effective revenue collection system, the future of our country is at stake. We take harsh actions against those who do not comply. Tax, like death and democracy, is the greater leveler. We all pay our fair tax, as this is the highest form of patriotism. In conclusion, Minister, ladies and gentlemen, our economy has gone through what you call technical recession, and therefore we want to indicate that we have listened and we have scanned the horizon, and we have seen some of the companies already shedding jobs, and this has a concomitant impact in our capacity to collect what is due to the fiscus. But we are resilient and focused that the number that has been set in February of collecting 1.265 trillion is a number that has been set so that South Africans must be able to do what is right, and we say it is cool to pay your taxes, but we are also mindful of the vicissitudes and the external factors that affect our economy, that if the economy outside and the external factors as they stand still contract our economy. We have a mountain to climb, and I have a team of men and women resilient at all times who will try to be with me and the Minister and the Deputy Minister that we make South Africa proud. We are proud of the fact that 90% of the government revenue comes from this institution. And it will not be for the first time that we commit to that covenant, that we shall bring the 90%, albeit the different conditions that we have. The 1.3 GDP growth that has been termed in the previous time, we are now aware that international organizations, the World Bank and the IMF, have also, including the Reserve Bank, revised it to far below 1%. And therefore, factor that into our consideration, we as electors go forward to make the children of Soweto that have made it possible for SARS to serve all the people of this beautiful land feel proud. Paying your taxes, ladies and gentlemen, is the coolest thing that you can do, because it provides us with the facilities that we all need to make our country to move, to make the traders to be proud of their taxes that are being used to rebuild our country. I want at this point in time, therefore, Minister, to call you to address us with the honor and the responsibility that I have, that you give us the line of direction in regard to this important milestone in history, that we are marching together to the 1.265 trillion, having also indicated the milestone that we have. Honorable Minister of Finance, Malusi Gigaba, please.